Join us as we cruise to Costa Maya and Cozumel, Mexico for Isaac's 30th birthday. We booked a 5-day cruise through the Royal Caribbean, and our first stop was Costa Maya, where we booked our buggy adventure tour to Mahahual. We had so much fun exploring, and I will say the roads are very much so get in where you fit in, and our sandy dirt roads filled with potholes, so you'll have a bumpy ride, but we truly loved it, especially my husband. Our tour guide was amazing. He let him drift, and it was just so much fun. We highly recommend this, especially if you love driving and exploring. And then from there, we went to the lighthouse where there's also some shops, and we just had such beautiful weather. After we went to the lighthouse, we then went to a tequila tasting, and truthfully, I am not a big alcohol person by any means, but the tequila was so smooth, like the smoothest tequila I've ever had, ever. And it was just so good. I would highly recommend going. We really had a blast. My husband loves Patron, and so we went to this tequila tasting, and we're just blown away by how smooth it was. We actually ended up buying a bottle for him as well while we were here, and learned so much about the history and the process of making tequila, and just truly makes you appreciate it even more. Then after our tequila tasting, yes, we did end up driving again to our last and final spot, which actually was the beach. We went to Blue Cay, and at the beach, they ended up serving us some lunch. We had 2 tacos each along with salsa and some like spicy, kind of like guacamole, but not quite, and some salsa as well. And then after that, we had the choice of either going back with them in the car and being taken back to the port or staying and exploring. We decided to stay and explore because it was just so beautiful, and we wanted more time at the beach and to kind of like walk it a lot more. When you're walking the sidewalk that's along the beach, there's so many shops, so many food places. There's just so much to see and do. So I'd highly recommend going out and doing that. And then just catching a taxi. I will say we never felt threatened. We never felt like we were in danger. So to me, it was pretty safe. There's a bunch of tourists, it's a very touristy area, so just keep that in mind. But we did end up catching a cab. That sidewalk area leads to the lighthouse, and you'll find a bunch of taxis there. Pro tip, once you get a taxi, make sure that you ask how much it is before you get in. So for us, it was $4 a person, and the cruise tells you how much the average fare should be. So just keep that in mind. Then we went to the port, we maxed and relaxed until we had to board. Next stop is Cozumel, Mexico, and in Cozumel, we went scuba diving for the very first time and had a blast. I truly couldn't have asked for a better guide. He was amazing. I had a bit of a learning curve with scuba diving, while Isaac picked it up right away, and our instructor was super patient with me and was just really good at keeping me near him to really help me out until I got the hang of it. Once I did get the hang of it, it was super relaxing and just so cool to be that close to nature and just underwater. It was truly an amazing experience, and Isaac and I had so much fun that when we get back home, we want to actually get certified in scuba diving, because there's so many places in Florida to go scuba diving, to see shipwrecks and things like that. So we want to get certified at a nearby scuba center. With that being said, if you have any hesitations about scuba diving, I'd recommend doing it because it is such an amazing experience, and you wouldn't want to miss it just because you're scared of going. Also, all the fears that I had kind of went away as soon as the instructor was helping me out. They're not going to just throw you to the wolves, so keep that in mind. After scuba diving, we did what we did in Costa Maya, and instead of taking a shuttle back to the port from our excursion, we ended up walking Cozumel, and it was so amazing. We ended up finding their city center, where we saw this replica of a Mayan ruin surrounded by blue agave. Blue agave is what they make tequila with, so it was really cool. And there's so much shopping in that city center as well, and So many cool things to see. From there, we ended up going to the cruise port. In the cruise port, there's also a lot of shopping. So Cozumel is just great overall for shopping. You'll also be able to go to the pools. We ended up having a few drinks at the pool, and it was a bar that was inside the pool. There's also the dolphin excursion. So if you do end up doing that, that is in the cruise port area. And then there's also a bunch of other pools and a lot of partying going on. So it's a lot of fun to kind of be in the cruise port area as well. Also, they had live flamingos, and then that was it. Overall, we had an amazing experience and can't wait for our next adventure. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe before leaving, and we'll see you next time.